What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Combat Sports Report podcast. I am your host, Alan. It's your boy Simkai, and we got a fun episode planned for you. We got some movement going on in Italy in terms of combat sports. We have bare knuckle popping off there. We have a massive Cage Warriors card, and of course, we're going to be going over the UFC. We had a drought this past weekend, but now April, what's the saying? April showers bring May flowers.
Sure.
We're about to experience
Yep,
the
we got a big Cage Warriors card in Dublin. So as Alan was saying, all around the world, and we got UFC Kansas City.
this
We
is going to be
also
a fun
got
one.
we also got a crazy boxing match that people have been waiting
Mm.
for a long time. That's going to be taking place at Wembley. Uh, Conor Benn versus Chris Eubanks Jr. Their fathers both fought each other, so I think multiple times too, right?
I don't know. I don't remember. I was not alive at that time, but the stories are great. Headlines are awesome. The two guys look ready to go, and um,
Yeah.
some interesting stuff happening on the Eubank side. Eubank Senior kind of said he's disgusted with Eubank Jr. I guess let's just get into this topic right off the bat
Yeah,
since we're already
let's just
here.
start with this. Yeah.
Eubank Sr. put out a video saying he's disgusted with his own son for his behavior. Eubank Jr. took out an egg and smashed it on Connor Benn's face. And Eubank Sr. was like, "That's disgusting. I'm ashamed of you. Like, I'm ashamed that you're my son, basically. Like, who taught you that? Your mother taught you that? I didn't teach you that." He was saying all this shit. He got so angry, his Jamaican accent slipped out a little bit.
Oh, shoot.
It was interesting, but I think that adds fuel to the Eubank Jr. side. I think now he has a chip on his shoulder. He's like, yeah, my dad's not even proud of me. Fuck this.
Yeah.
I
I
think.
mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, also, something to note. I mean, yeah, Chris Eubanks' behavior isn't really good, but as a person
Who the
though,
fuck are we to judge? He's a pro
no, no,
fighter.
no, no, I'm not even. I actually saw this, but Chris Eubanks, his younger brother passed away.
Oh fuck.
His name was Sebastian, and Sebastian had like a baby son, and Chris adopted his nephew. So his nephew is basically his son.
That's a good man right there. That's a
Yeah.
good man.
So I mean, Chris,
Theatrics aside, we don't know them, so we don't know
yeah.
if they're good or
But
bad
Connor
people. And
Ben,
it's not even up to us to judge.
no, but I
But
want to go into Connor Ben a little bit. Like,
hit me.
guy is a destroyer. I've seen him fight. I saw him headline a card for Matchroom. It was actually in Las Vegas. He destroyed his opponent. Um, this is going to be a fight for the ages. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of riding with Conor Ben.
Connor Ben. Is that Nigel Ben's
Yeah,
son?
that's Nigel Ben's son. Yeah, Conor Ben.
Holy shit. Holy shit, dude. We're coming full circle. Combat sports is so interesting this way. That's a family feud at this point. Like, that's a generational beef.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. Like their fathers fought each other.
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
yeah, it's
His
gonna.
father was also a destroyer. Nigel Benn used to be a fucking marauder.
Yeah,
Used to
his
just
son is
walk
no
people down
different.
and fucking sleep them, bro.
His son is no different, and the undercard for that is stacked. I just want to look up some of these fights for a second because I saw them before and it was pretty crazy. Uh,
Any names that you can remember that pop off the top of the
well,
card?
yeah. So we got Anthony Yard
Okay, okay.
versus Lyndon Arthur. They're both former champion. They're both people that fought Better Beeve and Bivol, and they're actually put up a fight. So
Doesn't matter how good of a fight you put up against Beterbiev, if everybody went to sleep
then we
except
also
Bivol.
got Liam Smith.
Oh,
He's a good fighter. We also got Chris Billiam Smith. He was the former champion of the cruiserweight division.
interesting.
Then we got Chev Clark and Vital Riley. I don't know who they are, but
Me neither.
yeah, it's gonna be a
I'm
good.
most excited for that main event. That main
Yeah, that
event is
main
like
event's gonna be.
it sells the whole card. I don't
I
care. I don't care if there's no other fights. I'm watching that one. That's such a sick fight.
yeah, no, definitely. But Alan,
Mm.
Now, let's get to what we love talking about the most.
UFC.
UFC. Can
UF Sizzle.
UFC UFC sizzle. UFC UFC
No.
UFC Kansas City, baby.
Yes, sir.
Midwestern vibes. And Alan, we kind of talked about this like in a previous episode. I believe it might have been episode maybe 12 or 12, I think.
Mm.
But unfortunately, the main event between Khalil Roundtree Jr. and Jamal Hill, it got canceled. It actually got rebooked for
Mm.
something that we actually called out that we knew was going to happen for a
UFC Baku.
UFC Baku in Azerbaijan. So we're gonna
Mm.
get to that later, folks. But right now we gotta focus on this because this is
I
a
like this main event so much more. It's
yeah,
so much more interesting to
it's
me.
really more interesting. We got Ian Machado Gary,
Machado.
Machado Gary, coming off his loss to Shavkat Rakhmonov, and he is
Very close loss.
close loss.
Dude, it was 50-50 going into that decision. It was very he almost finished Shavkat with that rear naked choke. He
Yeah,
almost had him.
but he's facing a fucking killer in Carlos Prates.
Mhm.
So, I mean,
Mhm.
this is two huge forces colliding with one another.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued to see what happens. It's a welterweight banger, 5 rounds. Uh, I don't think anyone should be missing this fight. It's must-see action. I mean, I would even put it as far as a co-main event for a PPV. I think it's that
Maybe featured fight. Maybe
featured
featured
fight. Yeah,
fight.
maybe featured fight, but it's a really good banger. And yeah, I mean,
I like this very much. I like this main
and
event. This main
Carlos
event is very
Prates has been
cool.
on a KO finishing streak, man.
Yeah, but I'm guessing you're gonna side with Protest to finish Gary.
I don't think so. I think Gary
Yeah.
might win.
Yeah, I think Gary submits him.
I think Gary might get the edge over him because he has fought. I
Michael Venom fucking Page. That's who he fought. He
yeah,
fought
he
one of
fought.
the best strikers in the game. Carlos Prates presents a very similar threat to Michael Venom Page. Hands are fast, hands come from unorthodox angles. Gary did get clipped, so he has to be very careful with that.
Yeah,
But what did he do to MVP? And I think that's going to be a similar thing to what he's going to do to Carlos Prates, simply because Prates and MVP are very similar in that they have very good, very sophisticated kickboxing and Muay Thai styles. They throw a lot of feints, they're very fast, and they pick their shots very well. They pick which shots to throw with power and which just to touch you with. Um, their grappling, however, is not on that level. Now, we haven't seen Carlos Prates really grapple in the UFC because he slept everyone he stepped in front of. But Ian Gary will make this dirty. He will not make this a clean performance for Carlos Prates. If Carlos Prates knocks him out, I'm going to be shocked. I'm
yeah,
going to
that'll
be not in that I don't think he can knock him out. I think he can knock out any welterweight on planet Earth given the chance. I just don't think Ian Gary's going to give him that chance.
yeah, no, I don't think so either. I mean, I think it's going to be a crazy one nonetheless, Alan.
Mhm. I agree.
I mean, I'm definitely excited for it, but and we kind of talked about the main card before as well.
Mhm.
Want to get into because I want to get into that co-main event.
So who's your pick?
Who's my pick? I said Ian Gary.
How?
I think decision. I think it all goes all the 5 rounds, to be honest.
All 5 rounds.
I mean,
Wow.
I mean, they're kind of in my opinion, Alan, they kind of have to be a little smart in how they deal with each other. So they
For
might be a
sure.
little hesitant in like engaging. I mean, Carlos Prates always goes out there, but he knows who he's facing, I think. So
I think for that reason, he's going to step on the gas a little bit round one. He's going to try to pressure Ian Gary. It's going to be a tough first round for him. Then rounds two and three, Ian Gary just like weathers the storm, takes his back and like chokes him. with a rear naked choke.
Okay, I guess we'll see with that. I mean, we still got the
I'm
same pick, but
yeah, I'm not just taking submission. I'm taking specifically rear naked choke. Ian Gary is good at getting to the back when he has the choke locked in, like he had on Shafkat, like he had for he got to that position on Shafkat, he got to that position on Michael Venom Page. He got to that position on a variety of different really good fighters. I think Pratis is no different. Even though I love Pratis, Pratis has one of my favorite fighting styles in the whole UFC. I fucking love watching him fight. He's one of my favorite fighters right now. I just think styles make fights, and I think Ian Gary, his style was meant for guys like Pratis.
yeah. No, I agree, Alan. But Alan,
What's up?
this co-main event, I think it's going to make us sad. I think, honestly, as much as I love the guy, I think Zhang Mingyang is going to like destroy Anthony Smith.
Yeah, this is a coming out party for Mingyang. He is a he's a juggernaut, a light heavyweight juggernaut from China with hands of fucking steel.
Yeah, dude.
I'm very curious to see how he's gonna deal with like top 15 guys in his weight class. 'Cause he's very good. His hands are very crisp.
And Smith
Only
is,
way I see Anthony Smith being able to win is with a guillotine or some shit like that, like some
yeah,
kind of
but Alan,
submission.
the thing, you know what the thing that I'm looking back on is, remember how you could see it at Anthony Smith lost his like head coach or something. I'm pretty sure like he was
Mhm.
definitely a little off because of that. I don't know if it's going to be the same because he even said after his that fight, like I don't know if I could do this without him. So like,
Well, this is his retirement fight, so he's not going to have to do it much more without.
yeah, that's true. This is his last fight. I mean, honestly, I'm really hoping Anthony Smith gets the win just to like show that he's a fucking legend. I mean, he is
Yeah.
a legend, but
One of the only guys to ever beat John Jones.
oh, Dominic Reyes might have something to say about that.
And one of
But
Dominic Reyes, Matt Hamill, Anthony Smith.
yeah, shout out to Dom Reyes. This guy is going to probably make it back into the top five soon.
Let's see. Let's see. He's on a three knockout win streak, right?
And Anthony
So
Smith is one of the people he knocked out.
exactly. It was
Dustin
Dustin
Jacoby.
Jacoby, Anthony Smith, and then Nikita Krylov. Now, it gets exponentially harder at the top of these divisions, especially light heavyweight. You have all the best guys on planet Earth in the light heavyweight like sphere
Yeah.
in the top five in the UFC. So they're like
Yeah.
legitimately the
Well,
baddest motherfuckers on planet Earth.
obviously next is Pereira and Ankalaev too. We all
Yeah.
know that. I think
But then
probably honestly, Alan, I think unless they've already announced something, I think International Fight Week is going to be that one.
maybe.
It's a big one, so I feel like they would want something big for that
I
personally.
agree. I think they were talking about doing Chimaev versus DDP.
No, but DDP is injured.
He's not though. He said he's not. Everybody
Oh,
was talking shit and saying all these rumors. DDP came out and said, first of all, I'm the champion. Second off, all this horse shit, never listen to it. So that sounds like he's not injured.
yeah,
Sounds like
okay.
he had a scare. Maybe he injured himself a little bit,
Yeah, but him
but
versus Hamzat, that definitely would be the fight to make
that's
on that
the
card. But
yeah, that's the fight to make. That's the fight that sells the most and makes the most sense. But after
yeah,
that, you got to give Imavov a title shot. I don't care who wins. No rematch. Give Imavov his fucking title
I
shot.
want Imavov and Kyle Baharo first. That's what I want. So,
I don't even want that. I want Imavov to fight for the belt already because he knocked out on the feet Israel Adesanya
true.
on the
Alan,
feet.
Alan, I kind of want to get back to, I'm sorry, Kansas City Fighters. We're gonna give you your spotlight. But we gotta get back to this main card. But Alan, actually, a fight I'm very excited about. That's the featured fight. I believe that the featured fight's always the fight before the co-main.
Mhm.
Is Giga Chikadze makes his return
Mhm.
against the streaking David Onama. I think this has
Why is he streaking? Does he not have clothing? Ah,
win streak
just
in
gonna fucking tie a noose in the corner.
yeah,
That horrible joke.
but honestly, Alan, I don't know if you'll disagree or not, but I think this could be fight of the night.
I disagree. But I think this is going to be super technical. I think they chase each other around and like have a massive like footwork battle. I don't see this being fight of the night. Giga does not like to stand and trade. He likes to pick you apart from the distance. Onama also. Onama likes to hit you with one shot and sleep you or wrestle fuck you. Kind of similar to Themba Gorimbo.
Actually, I'll change. I might change my mind because I just saw another fight on here that probably meets that quota.
Mhm.
But a fight that I'm also excited for after that thriller is Michel Barrera. I mean, always a fucking guy that I love watching.
I'm in.
And guess who he's facing? Abus Magomedov.
See, that's a very interesting fight. Abus Magomedov is dropping down to middleweight, or he was always at
He was
middleweight?
always middleweight. Remember he fought Strickland in that main event. Strickland knocked him out.
I thought that fight was at 205. Am I bugging?
That was middleweight. You're thinking of Imavov and Strickland was at light heavyweight.
Oh, possibly. Yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
so I mean personally, no, I got Michel
Yeah.
Pereira
Me
because
too.
I think Abus is gonna try to like stand and trade with him, and you really can't stand and trade with Michel Pereira, in my opinion. I
Mm.
mean, remember that time, dude, that he like the guy slapped him like at the press conference, and he literally just slapped him
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
forgot that
It,
fighter's name.
it was fuck. Something with it had a U in it, it had a Z in it. It was one
Daruk
of
or
those
something
names.
like that.
No, no, no. It was fuck. Why can't I remember his name? Oh, something like almost no. No, fuck. This is gonna torment me. I have to look this up. Give me a second. I'm gonna look this up. Whatever, it's not important. Um, okay. Abu Smagomedov is 3-2 in the UFC.
Yeah.
He loses this one, he's fighting cans for the foreseeable future.
Oh
He
yeah.
wins this one, he gets propelled to a very compelling fight. Um, I don't know who wins this one, to be honest with you.
I think I know. I think it's
But
Michel Pereira. I'm sticking with my boy Michel Pereira.
see, I get that, but like the experience difference is not that crazy. Oh, fuck. Abus Magomedov has a significant reach advantage of 5 inches. All right.
Oh.
That is a big advantage.
Yeah,
Um,
it could get
what's that fucker's name? Yo, we're about to find out that Russian cat's name. Imadaev.
oh yeah.
Imadaev. It's like something. I know his name starts with a Z. Imadaev. Whatever.
Yeah,
I
who
don't. I
cares?
don't fucking care. Um.
You got
Yeah.
swept. Who cares?
Michel Pereira backflips into mount. He does all types of crazy shit. They both have a style, right? That is very first round friendly. If it goes to decision, I am taking Michel Pereira. Actually, what are the odds on this fight? I'm curious. Like, what are the betting
Oh,
odds?
Michel Pereira is minus 150. Abus is plus 125.
Yeah, those odds make sense. I'm going with Michel Pereira also. I think Michel Pereira has just more options to get this done.
Yeah,
Abus
definitely more
Magomedov, in my
versatile.
book, is going to have to knock him out to win.
Yeah, no, I agree, Alan. I think that's definitely we're on the same boat with that.
Yeah.
This fight here, though, Alan, Randy Brown, Nicholas Dalby,
Good fight.
good fight.
Oh my God, this whole fucking card is insane.
Yeah, don't worry, we're gonna get to all of them.
All right, all right, all right. Randy Brown versus Nicholas Dalby. Randy Brown fighting out of New York,
Wait,
repping
he's a New
Jamaica.
Yorker?
Yeah,
Oh, fuck.
he,
Shout out to Randy Brown.
I believe he like trained a little bit at Tiger Schulman's here. And I believe that he
Oh, Shane
also
Burgos.
trained a little bit. Yeah, and I believe he also trains at Brooklyn MMA or something like that. Like I'm pretty sure he's from like our area, like not
But
too far
he's
away.
fighting another dog in Nicholas Dalby. I mean, this guy beat Bonfim. This guy, like, is still. in the mix, and
Nicholas Dalby is one of the perennial like contenders. I don't even want to call him a journeyman because that's
no,
kind
he's
of
not.
disrespectful. I mean, he kind of is like against the like really like the best of the best welterweights, he loses, but he is one of the best fighters on planet Earth. He's so well-rounded. He has an interesting striking style. It's almost karate-ish. It's almost
Didn't he draw
taekwondo-ish.
with Darren Till?
Dalby?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had a draw with Darren Till back in the day.
No fucking way. Let me check right now.
Yeah, in 2015 he drawed with Darren Till. He
Wow.
he beat Eliseu Zaleski dos Santos. He's beaten Alex Oliveira, Tim Means. No, wait, he lost to Tim Means. Daniel Rodriguez, Warley Alves, Muslim Salikov. He knocked out Gabriel Bonfim. This is going to be a tough test for Randy Brown, but I don't know. I think
It's Randy Brown just because of his reach, how long his legs are. He has the reach advantage over almost anybody in that division. But Jack Della Maddalena showed us that that's not always a precursor to winning. That being said, Nicholas Dalby does not have the same hands that Jack Della Maddalena has. Okay? I think this is going to be much more gritty, much more like cage fighting, much more clinching. I think Nicholas Dalby gets the win by decision.
yeah, I think I agree with that. I think that
I think if it
puts his
stays like
experience to
a
the test.
wall, what's that?
I think he puts his experience to the test here.
Yeah, for sure. But more than that, they both have sufficient experience in the UFC and in MMA. The experience is like a non-factor at this point for both of them. The clinch work, I think, is going to be really big in this fight. I think Randy Brown sometimes struggles in the clinch. Like he has good knees in there, but sometimes his body is very open in the clinch. I'm gonna say that Nicholas Dalby just like wrestle fucks him against the cage for a little bit and wins by decision. That's how I'm taking this fight.
I could definitely see that.
Mhm.
Going to be a good fight. And Alan, I believe this fight next is our main card opener.
What a fight this is. What a beautiful fight by the
Ikram
matchmakers.
Alaskerov and Andre Sergipano Muniz.
Yeah, this fight is great. The betting odds are fucking outrageous. I don't know who made these betting odds. I don't know what the fuck they were smoking. I
They're
get
in,
it. I get it. Ikram Aliskerov has only ever lost to Robert Whitaker and to Khamzat Chimaev. I get it. I totally understand it. But Andre Muniz, bro, he has 24 wins, and
yeah,
15 of them are by submission.
yeah,
Four of them are knockouts.
yeah,
Okay.
he's
He has
crazy.
19 finishes in
Yeah, I
24
think
wins.
people are
He only has five
underestimating.
fights that went the decision.
People
Okay.
are underestimating him for sure.
Grossly. 15 first round finishes. And yeah, Muniz lost who did Muniz lose to? Muniz lost to Paul Craig, he lost to Brendan Allen, he lost to
Those are
yeah,
all.
that's it. Those
Those
are
are
those
all.
are his two losses right there, right? He was on like a five fight, six fight win streak before that. He had a draw versus or what happened versus Arroyo. I don't know. I don't remember what happened versus Arroyo, but he beat get what Fabinski's first name is. Bartosz was
Yeah, Bartosz
Fabinski.
Fabinski. Yeah,
Then he beat uh am I blanking on his name? Souza. Jacare. He beat Jacare Souza. So Fabinski, Jacare Souza. Then he beats Eric Anders. Then he beat Uriah Hall. Okay.
yeah. We
That's
know
at
no.
least four in a row that he
This
won,
is a
at
big deal.
least. And they're all big names. Then
Yeah,
you get to Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen beats him by submission. He just like out hustles him, outworks him. And then he gets stopped by Paul Craig. Then he comes back against Jung Young Park and he wins
yeah.
by split decision.
I could
Okay.
see Andre Muniz getting a submission or at least beating Alaskerov by decision.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is if there's ever a possibility for an upset, this is fucking it.
Yeah.
Bro, why is Aliskerov a minus 550
A
favorite?
scary individual, Alan. I think that like
Yeah,
I
but he's coming off of a bad knockout loss,
yeah.
and he's a minus 550 favorite.
No, you're right.
Never, ever bet on somebody like that, bro. Even though he's likely to win, he is. He's got good hands. He can scramble. He got put the fuck away by Robert Whitaker in his
Justin
last
Gaethje
fight.
got put away, and he beat Rafael Fiziev in the rematch. We
That's
can't.
true, but Justin Gaethje doesn't really grapple. I don't know, bro. I don't know. All I'm saying is, if anybody grapples with Muniz, they're in trouble. Plus, Muniz has power. He's got a lot of ways to win this fight. He has a lot of outs. Like in poker, you get a nice little hand, but you don't really have anything that like connects. No straight, no flush, no nothing. But you have like four cards in a row, and they're all the same suit. You have a lot of ways to win that hand. Same
Yeah.
here. He's got a lot of submission abilities. His power is there. His striking is not bad. Uh, fuck it, fuck it. I'm taking Muniz. I'm taking
Yep.
Muniz to win by submission.
Okay, we both agree on that. And what do you think about the prelim feature, Alan? We got Matt Schnell, he always a dog, always in a war, and
Jimmy
he's
Flick.
fighting Jimmy Flick. Yeah,
Jimmy Flick wins.
yeah, I think me. I also
I
think that.
love Jimmy Flick. I think he's one of the best flyweights on planet fucking Earth right now. I think he wins this fight.
Yeah, I think I could see that too. Probably by like a dominant fashion of some kind.
Who knows? There's a reason Matt Schnell is minus 258, but anytime you get a guy who's minus 250, so minus 250 is like
He's minus
notoriously
185
like
from what I saw.
on the
Maybe.
UFC website, he's listed as minus 250,
Oh,
minus 258. And anytime you have a guy who's minus 250, that is like the danger zone for an upset. Okay, especially when you got somebody
Danger,
on the what?
Matt Danger Schnell. That's his nickname.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's going to be dangerous for him because he's in the danger zone in terms of the betting odds.
Yeah.
Minus 250 is notoriously flop.
Yeah.
Notoriously. I can't
That's
give you any examples off the top of my head, but we can do a lot of research into this and come up with a bunch of minus 250 favorites that seem like locks, and then they just flop. I'm riding with Jimmy Flick on this one. Matt
Jimmy
Schnell
Flick.
is good, but
I
Jimmy
also
Flick's grappling is insane.
I agree with you. And what about this next fight? I'm not too familiar with their performances, but that's kind of crazy for me to say. But Evan Elder and Gage Young.
Gage Young. Okay, I need to talk about this fight. This fight is one of the ones that I wanted to talk about most today. Okay.
Okay, bet. Go off, King. Go off.
There's a lot of backstory to this. All right. And I think this is going to be quite interesting for people who don't know. So, Gage Young is stepping in as a replacement. He stepped in a couple days ago.
I
Hold
know.
on. Let me just tell the people. He stepped in a couple days ago. The original opponent for Evan Elder was Hassan Zada. I forget his first name. Ahmed Hassan Zada, I think.
Some Afghani name.
Yeah. Oh, let me look this up just to make sure. Uh,
He's Afghani.
Hassan Zada. Yeah, Hassan Zada. Ahmad Hassan Zada. Say that five times fast.
Ahmad.
Anyway, all right. Anyway, Ahmad Hassan Zada. Okay. Why is this relevant? Backstory. Nazim Sadikov, when he fought on Contender Series, he got a knockout. Who did he get a knockout against? Ahmad Hassanzada. Nazim Sadikov. He then goes on and he fights Evan Elder. He's losing the fight. Then in the third round, he lands a crazy shot that splits open Evan Elder's whole face, and they stop the fight. And he wins because, or it might have been a decision, but I think they stopped the fight, and Nas definitely won that fight. Evan Elder and Nas have been training together. They're boys after that. They train together all the time. Now, cut to this past week. Hassan Zada pulls out of the fight. Why? Because he was arrested for lewd and lascivious activities involving a minor under the age of 14. Can you imagine this? You have the shot of a lifetime You come here from Afghanistan. You're living on people's couches. You get knocked the fuck out on Contender Series by Nas, our boy Nas. Shout out Nas, one of the best lightweights on earth right now.
Book
You
him
get
for
knocked the fuck.
Azerbaijan. Book him.
But he is booked. He is booked. We'll talk about that in a second. He's booked for Azerbaijan or for Baku. He's fighting Nicholas Mota.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
gonna be a sick fight. Anyway, we'll get into that later. Just imagine you come here from Afghanistan. You're living on couches. You're sleeping in gyms. You get knocked the fuck out horribly in front of everybody, horrifically, preposterously. Fucking, I can't stand people that do shit like this. You get knocked the fuck out like that. Then you're given another chance to come on to the Contender Series. You win. You get yourself a contract to the biggest MMA promotion on planet Earth. The week before you're gonna fight, you get arrested for diddling a minor. What the fuck, bro?
I mean, I'm not trying to sound like racist of any kind, but
Okay, we're gonna have to blur this part of the podcast out.
yeah, but I mean, knowing how they deal with women in Afghanistan, I know for a fact that there is child marriages is legal now.
That's not even, bro. That's not even the worst
He's
of it.
from a
If you,
culture
if you,
like that, so like I'm
that
not.
is actually true. If you listen to anyone who serves in Afghanistan, they will openly tell you that like native Afghanis or they will like parade around like little boys, not just so it's to show off publicly. Like, look at these little boys that I have that I fucking diddle and fucking
Yeah,
do
that's
horrific shit with.
but
Fuck all of that. Very respectfully. Love all cultures, love all
yeah, I
whatever.
love all cultures, but
Fuck that.
fuck that respect.
Fuck, like, no, no. Hassan Zada should probably meet up with Nas and get his shit rocked again.
Yeah,
Because no, you don't do that till,
I think Nas would rock his shit without a contract after this.
well, obviously, he already fucking did on the Contender Series. He put him
Yeah,
to sleep. Anyway, I don't want to talk about this dude
yeah.
any more than I have
So
to because
let's move on to
that's
the fight.
disgusting. But he threw his life away by talking to
Alan,
little
but tell
kids
us
under
about Gage
14.
Young. Tell us about Gage Young now.
I don't know too much about Gage Young to be honest with you, but he's coming in. I believe he was on the Contender Series. Uh, he's coming in with a significant disadvantage in terms of the experience. He's only he's what? He's 9-2. Evan Elder is what? Evan Elder's also 9-2.
Oh shit, they have the
Oh
same.
shit. Same.
That's
Okay, so he's not outclassed in the experience. This is gonna be an interesting fight. Gage Young, bro, when you give these young guys, young, hungry guys, an opportunity like this, they tend to perform when they're not fucking diddling 14-year-olds like that piece of shit. Okay, I'm not talking
yeah.
about that.
Just stop. Just.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm sorry. That fucking grinds my
But
gears. Are
no,
you kidding me?
but otherwise though, definitely going to be an interesting fight. You rarely see 9-2 two fighters with the same records going at it. I'm
Yeah.
definitely excited for this fight. It's going to be a good one. Alan, there's
Yeah.
a fight on here that actually was supposed to be in Florida, and it was rebooked for this event. Chris Gutierrez is fighting John Castaneda at featherweight.
A good fight. I like Gutierrez. Gutierrez has some of the nicest knees and front kicks and leg kicks. I like Gutierrez. He uses kicks a lot. Generally, I like guys who either have really crisp boxing or use a lot of kicks or both.
Yeah,
You do both, even better.
I think he's gonna maybe knock him out or something like that. Maybe not like spectacularly, but I think I could see it like a finish in that regard. But Alan, you know who I definitely think gets a finish?
Cool.
Damon Blackshear. I think he's gonna like steamroll over Alen Tegeli.
Respectfully, I love you, Simkai. You pronounce names worse than
Okay,
almost everyone.
I might mispronounce names, but I am not wrong with that call. I think Damon Blackshear. And guess what, Alan? Damon Blackshear is a minus 550 favorite in this fight.
So
Minus
what? Who gives a
550.
fuck about what the odds are? The odds are an opportunity to make money when they're wrong, not when they're right. Okay? I don't give a fuck about the odds right now. Just put the odds to the side.
Hey, Damon's
Obviously,
still
that
winning that fight, bro.
Possibly. Alatang Haley is not a joke. What's his last fight? He beat Lazy Boy in his last fight. Or was that not Lazy Boy?
No, it wasn't. Cledson Rodriguez.
Clayton Rodriguez. Is him and are Clayton and fucking Lazy Boy brothers? They look identical.
Yeah, but Chris Gutierrez, he lost to Chris Gutierrez before that.
Let's see this. Okay, so he lost to Chris Gutierrez. He beat Chad and Helliger.
And Kevin
He
Kroom.
he beat Kevin Kroom. He had a draw with Gustavo Lopez, and he lost to Casey Kenny. He had a draw versus Alan Benoit.
Yeah, I
Fuck,
think
what's
listen,
Ryan Benoit? Yeah, dude, he's fought a lot of really good guys.
he's fought good guys, but I don't know. I feel like Damon Blackshear is on a fucking tear right now.
Damon Blackshear is very dangerous. This is a very, very dangerous fight for Alatang Haley. Uh, but never doubt the Mongolians, bro. They're capable of amazing things.
And
I
that should
I
be a good
agree with
fight.
you. I think Damon Blackshear is also gonna win. I don't think it's. I don't know. I don't want to say it's gonna be easy. I just don't.
Alan, I'm sorry
Uh,
about this interruption, but this next fight actually piqued my fucking interest. We got undefeated bantamweight prospect Malcolm Wellbaker,
mhm.
8-0, and he's fighting Cameron Saman, 9-2.
Good fight. Very good fight.
Yeah. I mean,
Cameron Simon is finally back.
I think Cameron Saman, I mean, I've seen him fight more. I, I think he does it. I mean, I think he's been through some adversity. I think he gets it done. Maybe by decision, I would say.
Mm,
The fight odds are
very
really close,
possible.
though.
Very possible. I listen, I'm also leaning towards Cameron Simon. I did not watch Malcolm Wellmaker on the Contender Series, but I listen, Cameron Simon put up a really good fight against Peyton Talbot before Peyton Talbot fucking
Blitzed him.
yeah, that shit was crazy. Bro, that knee that Peyton Talbot landed was one of the hardest knees I've ever heard in my
I
fucking
still
life.
can't believe that Rayoni Barcelos being Peyton.
I can. He's a veteran. He's
Yeah,
experienced, and he's a really good wrestler.
yeah, true. He kind of destroyed that hype train, though.
Not really. One loss is not a destroyed hype train.
True, true. But yeah, so I think that's going to be a good fight. I'm not really too familiar. Well, I mean, actually this next one I am familiar with. Uh Jacqueline Amorim. What the fuck? Jacqueline Amorim is a -1,000 favorite against Polyana Viana.
I'm seeing it as -800 on my side, but yeah, it's very lopsided. But against
Jacqueline
Poliana Viana,
Amorim,
I don't know. You ever
she's a
see what
former strawweight champion in LFA. She's a decorated submission artist. I can see where
Amarim?
yeah, I can see where
Mm.
they're why they're going on this, but I don't think you should count out Polyana Viana.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't like these ridiculous fucking odds.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
a little whack.
Poliana Viana is also a menace. You ever see what she did when some guy tried to like mug her?
Oh yeah, I think I heard about this.
She beat the fuck out of him, left him with two swollen black eyes. He looked like a fucking alien after she was done. So don't count this lady out. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what the odds makers are on. I don't see it this way. Uh, Almarim, very talented. Got a lot of hype going into this fight. Good, high profile opponent.
I mean, I'm gonna probably go with Amorim in this one because I've seen her fight before. I mean, I've also seen Viana
Hmm.
fight. I don't want to count her out, but if I
Hmm.
have to pick, I'm probably going with Amorim.
Honestly, I don't disagree with you. I do not disagree with you. I'm going Almarim too, but I think it's going to be a good fight and it's going to be an
Yeah.
interesting one.
Do you know much about these next opponents though?
Yes.
Timmy Kwamba 8-3, and then we
Timmy Kwamba fought up a weight class. He fought at lightweight against fuck, I forget his name, but he was a really, really, really solid fighter, bro. Oki, Bolaji
oh
Oki,
fuck. Yeah.
Bolaji Oki at lightweight, right? And he has a fucking chin, dude. Kwamba almost won that fight. It was a split decision. And Kwamba was fighting up a weight class. but Oki was fighting at his natural weight class. Kwamba put on quite the performance. Okay, his hand it was very technical. Um, he almost got the win. And from what I remember, it was relatively short notice. I'm gonna go with Timmy Kwamba on this one,
Yeah, me
although I
too.
have to admit I don't know too much about Roberto
I
Romero.
mean, Roberto Romero's last fight was actually his debut, and he lost by decision to David Onama.
Okay, understandable.
I
Wow.
mean, I'm still gonna go with Timmy Kwamba because I think he's got that chin.
Mhm.
Uh, and then to our first fight of this card, I mean, okay, now I'm gonna go off a little bit.
Go.
Uh, well, I think Jocelyn Edwards wins this fight. I
I
mean,
agree with you wholeheartedly.
dude, I'm gonna roast her a little bit, but
Pop off.
did you see like that fight? I forgot who the
Norma
hell.
Dumont.
Yeah, who the hell was that again? She was like running the fuck
That was
away.
Norma Dumont.
Norman, yeah, and this girl was talking so much shit like at the like
She was
weigh-in.
like, I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna
I'm
do
gonna fuck
this
you
and
up.
that.
And she was just like literally running away, like
She sprinted away from her inside the octagon
yeah,
during the fight.
Chelsea Chandler, L. Uh, I mean, I think Jocelyn Edwards beats her because of also the experience.
Mm.
Jocelyn has been in the UFC for a bit. I mean, I won't be surprised if Chelsea Chandler runs away again because that
You're
was
gonna have to fight her at this pace. You're talking so much shit. You're just like her, bro. You're just like her. You're talking all this shit, but
hey,
you
you know what? I think you know what? At least Christian D. Leroy Duncan is better than her, so I don't want to hear anything. Like,
what's that got to do with anything?
because you went off on Christian Leroy Duncan, so I have every right to go off on Chelsea Chandler, someone who has a 6-3 record, who's in the UFC in the highest part of MMA, and is running away in the octagon. Like,
I agree with you, but she has a winning record. She's in the UFC.
well, we'll see. I mean, I think Jocelyn Edwards beats her.
I think
Uh,
so too. I think Jocelyn Edwards is just too technical. I think
yeah,
Jocelyn Edwards actually has good striking. Like not
yes.
just like okay, her striking is good when she fucking uses it, but she doesn't use it all the time.
Yeah, I think she will. But yeah, so folks, that's your UFC Kansas City card.
Mhm.
It's going to be a great one. It's going to be in front of a live crowd as well, so you're definitely going to get a lot of pop-offs. It's going to be a fun one to watch. Me and your boy Alan are definitely going to be watching that.
Yeah.
Alan,
I'm gonna be hiding in the rafters
yeah,
in Kansas City.
Alan, but now let's get to a piece of UFC news. So, we just mentioned this before, but the UFC is making its debut in Azerbaijan in Baku. As Alan said, we got one fight with our boy Nazim Sadikov is fighting Nicholas Mata. We also got Tagir Ulanbekov fighting the debuting Kyoji Horiguchi.
Ooh, what a fucking fight that
And
was.
Tagir is the number 10 ranked flyweight. So if Horiguchi beats him, he gets back into the rankings. Just a side note for everyone, Horiguchi was in the UFC before and he has challenged for the UFC flyweight title. So,
He he also was champion in Bellator, in
and right.
Rising, and he's Alessandro Pantoja's main training partner.
Yeah. So, yeah, the record speaks for itself.
He's a little bit up there in age, I'll say that, but Kyoji Horiguchi absolutely is one of the best flyweights on planet Earth.
Oh, 100%. And then we got another fight that was also supposed to be in Miami. It got rebooked. We got the number 5 ranked heavyweight monster, Curtis Razor Blades,
This fight is
and
fucking cursed.
he is fighting the debuting Dagestani giant, Rivzin Kunev. Rivzin is getting a huge debut fight. He is getting the number 5 ranked opponent in his debut fight.
Tells you exactly what the organization thinks of Kuniev's potential.
Yeah, so that's going to be a good fight. I believe that could be the co-main event, but I am not 100% sure on this. Obviously, our Baku main event is the highly anticipated fight between Khalil Roundtree Jr. and Jamal Hill.
Hmm.
Personally, I think it's kind of weird that that's the main event for Baku, but I don't know. Maybe they wanted to give it an exciting fight.
You and me both, bro. I think that's
When I
very
saw
fucking
that,
weird.
when I saw that, I'm like, wait, what?
You
I mean,
forgot.
maybe they want a main event that's going to captivate the audience, and they know these two like to come and bang. So maybe that's why. I mean,
I agree with you. You forgot one.
no, there's a couple of other fights that were announced, but
What's his face? Where is he?
I know there's a woman's fight. I just gotta find it's like a number 15 ranked opponent.
Yeah, but you also forgot probably the biggest fighter from Baku
Oh shit.
fighting. Yeah.
Abdullah Wahab, the undefeated
Hold
heavyweight.
on, hold on, hold on. We'll get to that. You forgot the biggest guy from Azerbaijan. Rafael Fiziev is fighting Ignacio Bahamondes
Yes.
in
Yes.
Azerbaijan, and that is the co-main event, sir. And well deserving of that
Yeah.
fucking spot, my boy. That is a fucking banger.
Also, we got Melissa Mullins, the number 15 ranked women's bantamweight fighting Daria Zelenjniakova.
Yeah, but we'll get into all of this stuff when the time comes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they're gonna
Oh,
announce
and
a few
Austrian Wonder
fights.
Boy is returning.
Huh?
Austrian Wonder Boy is returning.
Who's that?
You never heard of the Austrian Wonder Boy?
What's his actual name?
Ismail Nordiev.
Ismail Nurdiev. Actually, I have heard of him, but not
He's fighting Park at middleweight.
fire. Sounds like
Okay, but yeah, so that's some upcoming news in terms of that.
yeah. So that event is happening,
Oh,
but fucking
also,
what?
big piece. Oh, another announcement for UFC news that I actually wanted to bring to the table. June 7th in Newark, we are getting Vicente Luque and Kevin Holland in a welterweight bout.
Hell yeah! I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna record that fight.
Yeah, Alan's
I'm
gonna
gonna be
be.
sitting front row. We got crazy tickets. I got tickets for my birthday.
Yeah, boys,
We
it's
out.
gonna be a
We
crazy night.
out.
But
Fucking
Alan,
nice.
before we get into the last couple of shout outs, we obviously didn't have UFC, but who would be fighter of the week? Any fighter that you would like to highlight for this week? Any fighter, any maybe from the past, maybe from this year of 2025. Who
Fighter
do
of
you want
20.
to call?
How you gonna pick the fighter of 2025 in the middle of 2025? Not even. I can't do that. I will say this, fighter of the week for me is George St. Pierre because that boy is mad nice, super kind. I ran into him in Miami. He's he's a super nice dude. A very nice guy, very polite. The hair is growing beautifully. Dude, bro, he's more lean now than when he was fighting.
Okay, so Alan's fighter of the week is George St. Pierre. Fighter of the week can be fighters that have retired. So, in that same regard, my fighter of the week, and he kind of passed away maybe a couple of months ago, Stephen Bonnar. I want to give that guy a shout out.
Yeah.
He was a fucking dog in that
Any
tough.
particular reason?
I just like his. I was watching a couple of old like fights. I don't remember who they were against, but it was Stephen
Forrest
Bonnar
Griffin?
in the fights, and I just love his style. So
Yeah.
since you shouted out George St. Pierre, I want to shout out the late Stephen Bonnar.
I guess. I don't know. The tail end of his whatever. Let's remember him for what he did in
He
the
did for the sport.
what
Yes,
he did in the Forrest Griffin fight. His fight with John Jones was
he is a Hall of Famer, Alan.
he is. He is. That fight
So
will live in infamy. Um
okay, but yeah, I just want to shout out some events.
yeah,
Alan, do you want to shout out the our BKFC?
that's all you, bro. That's all
Okay.
you.
Okay, so basically, as Alan mentioned at the beginning of the episode, the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, run by the amazing Dave Feldman and now Conor McGregor, is debuting in Italy. And the main event is former PFL, former UFC, former MMA fighter Chris Camozzi, who captured the cruiserweight belt in a devastating knockout. I mean, he like flattened the guy's nose, I'm pretty sure.
Mm,
It was pretty crazy. He was supposed to face Lorenzo Hunt. Unfortunately, Lorenzo pulled out, but an Italian BKFC fighter stepped in. Nonetheless, I think it's an exciting main event. I'm definitely going to be tuning in because I am a fan of Chris Camozzi. Chris Camozzi is also a training partner of my guy, Mika Haas. So,
nice.
Mika Haas, shout out to you. Hope we get you on here at some point.
Shout out Mika.
And
Micah.
yeah, what happened?
Mika.
Mika, yeah. Um,
Haas.
Super Jew, as he likes to be called. But yeah, so that's for bare knuckle. And then Alan,
Yes, sir.
we've talked about this organization before, but Cage Warriors is returning to Dublin, Ireland
Tell
with
me about it.
two title fights. So we got James Webb in the co-main event. James Webb
I like
captured
it.
the
Let's
light
go.
captured the light heavyweight belt after Modestus left the organization, and he defended it against a Mickey Stano, who's actually doing very well in Octagon MMA right now.
Mhm.
And basically, yeah, he's defending the belt again. I love this guy. He follows our page too. So shout out to James Webb.
Let's go, James.
So I'm rooting for you, James. You're gonna get it done. And then in the main event, we got James Sheehan. He's a up and coming Irish talent, but he is facing a tough contestant and someone that I've watched on Cage Warriors before, Justin Burlinson, who's challenged for titles before.
Nice.
He's a finisher, so I'm expecting to see something good with this main event. But the last thing I want to shout out on this card, Alan, because you
Mhm.
know how everyone loves MMA. This is a 17 fight card. You
Massive.
don't see that often.
You see that only in like local and regional promotions.
Yeah,
You
but
never
Cage
see that in
Warriors
the
is
pros.
huge. So, and I think I might have mentioned this to Alan, but Cage Warriors, they have like little academies all over the UK where they build their own talent up. So, guys, I definitely wouldn't miss the Cage Warriors event. It's
Yeah, for
going to
sure.
be good. Alan, do you have anything else you want to add?
Um, do I have anything else? A lot of UFC news, a lot of UFC news has been happening, but it's like all on the sidelines. People talking about who's going to be headlining the International Fight Week card. A lot of people were talking about DDP being injured, but apparently DDP came out and said that he is not injured. People were speculating that he had a shin injury.
Mention that, I think.
Yeah, I mentioned that on the pod.
Yeah, yeah.
Word.
But no, but
That boy is single-handedly carrying the
yeah,
UFC
he's
right now.
really
Him and Alex Pereira are carrying the UFC. Um, wouldn't it be nice if John Jones versus Tom Aspinall got booked for
dude.
it?
I've actually heard that it's apparently Chael Sonnen said it's close. I don't think he'd lie about that.
Been close for 2 years, bro. I don't
Yeah,
I don't have the patience for it closer.
John
Want
Jones.
it
Oh,
signed on both parts,
okay.
on both guys to walk into the octagon on weight, and then I'll believe the fight's happening.
Dude, actually, there is some piece of news that I did get,
Mm,
and we could actually close off with this. Dirty Boxing Championship event number 2 has been announced.
nice.
No main event yet, but it will be in June. So, folks, me and Alan, we watched the first one. It was pretty fucking fire. So,
It was a great card. I'm sure Yoel Romero will be fighting on that card also, as
oh
like
yeah.
all of the events so far have been around him.
Apparently, they offered Darren Till a lot of money to fight Mike Perry on Dirty Boxing.
I
I don't
like
know. I
I
don't know
like
if that
that.
happened, but that'd be very interesting.
Yeah.
But folks, thank you for tuning in to the Combat Sports Report podcast.
Thank you guys.
Follow us on Instagram at Combat Sports Report and
And
also
and make sure you remember to comment how badly Simkai pronounces fighters' names in the comments of our video.
oh, make sure
Give him some shit for it. He deserves it. Nah, but thank you guys for tuning in. We love you guys. We
To our
appreciate you.
YouTube channel, folks.
Yeah,
Subscribe.
subscribe to the YouTube channel. Now we're putting out finally the full length podcast so you can hear all of our shenanigans and hear who's right and who's wrong when it comes to the picks. You guys can judge for
Yeah,
yourselves.
and guys, in the comments, you can also
Rag on me for my cauliflower ear.
I don't know, yeah, well that too, but you can also rag on Alan for getting very upset at fight lines. So
That's facts. That's facts. White lines don't exist. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Love you guys. Till next time. Deuces.